Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to be live this morning, and I'm going to do chores and take y'all along with me. Struggling to get video shots, so I've just decided I'm going to carry the camera around this morning. So y'all can go with me, and let's get some chores done. The baby lambs are crying. They think they're starving to death. So we'll just go get them fed and get them taken care of. Gary's getting ready to go to work. He's already gone and done one job this morning and fixing to move on to another one. First things first is we got to let these baby lambs out. Gotta let them out and let them have some bottles. Good morning. Hi, Heather.
Doing live?
Yep, doing a live. Heather's live with me. So we're gonna feed lambs. Gary's gonna pop in and do a guest appearance. Gotta figure out which ones. Okay, Curly and Mo are first.
Love you, baby.
Love you too. Have a good day. We've got Mo. And then Curly over here. I don't know if you can see them, Heather. I think I'm going to have the bottles in the way. So I had bottle feeders for a little while, and they get so crazy that they knock the feeders over and spill the milk everywhere. So it's gone back to the same old to feed them 2 at a time. They get 16 ounces of milk now. And they're growing so fast. Thanksgiving, they'll be ready to wean. Aren't they fun? It doesn't take them long to suck down a bottle either. And the girls are so patient over there. Not really. Usually they're up here trying to knock them over. See, like that one. Shimp, get down, Shimp. Shimp and Larry are impatient. They don't want to wait on their bottles. Okay, so Mo is almost done. All right, Mo's done. So we're going to start with Larry. Get Larry a bottle. Here she goes. Mo's almost done, or Curly's almost done with hers. I got them mixed up. Curly and Mo are twins, and I can tell them apart by their tags. Of course, their tags. Mo is a male, so his tag is in his right ear, in his right ear, and he has straight hair. And Curly, of course, is this freckled-faced you here, and she has curly hair, and her tag is in her left ear, or to my right. And then we've got Larry here. She's bigger. She's the bigger doe. And then we have Shimp. So the does have tags in their left ears, or on our right. So Curly and Mo are done. So then we got Larry and Shimp. And they will get feed and hay here in just a little bit. We'll get that for them. But little lambs are so cute. They have to have vaccines in order to sell them at a sale barn. And so the lady that I got my lambs from, she gives the vaccines just right after they're born, and then puts a tag in their ear so she knows who she's vaccinated and who she hasn't. And that's her system to put left for females and right for males. Now, Mo, you already had your bottle. Go on and let Shimp and Larry have theirs. Go on. All right, Shimp's done. Sometimes they get in a hurry, and you hear Shimp, she sucks some down her nose, and she's just clearing her nose. It's kind of like sneezing. She'll be done in just a minute. She just got milk down her nose. No, when I go. All right, that bottle is almost gone, and that's going to be the end of those bottles for those babies. Neighbor going by. All right, end of bottles. I'm going to go open their door so they can go in and out of their house. Give everybody some loving before they go. Do that. Curly and Mo really like being petted, but Shimp and Larry are still a little timid. Look out of the way, Mo. Curly. All right. So let's go get Freedom took care of. I'm going to leave the bottles on the porch so I don't lose them. We'll go get Freedom taken care of and get her put out. We'll see how that goes with the camera. It might be a little tricky. So we'll go get feed first. Gary was able to haul round bales for me, so I don't have to feed them prairie hay, just their normal alfalfa. And I have to go to the farm today and get alfalfa because it looks like I'm about ready to feed the last of the alfalfa today. All right, chickens have been digging in the alfalfa. And look, we've got an egg in the hay. Can't imagine where that comes from. Gotta leave a little bit of hay for Freeman and the lambs. Got it loaded in the wagon. That's alfalfa. We'll give some to the feeder calves, and we'll also give some for Freedom. And now I got to get her oats and feed. So Freedom gets oats, and she gets, my bucket broke. Freedom gets oats, and she gets a beef pellet. And I've got cats and chickens that might knock my camera off. Because they think they're starving too. Gotta see these little beggars. I spilt some oats, so they are cleaning it up. They're getting into Freedom's bucket too. So I better get them some feed. Let's see how we can do and get a good shot of everybody here in the barnyard. Sorry about the camera shaking. Freedom's upset. I'm running a little late, trying to get my morning chores done and these the animal chores done. All right, let's set that up and see if you can see a little bit of me feeding the animals. Hey, get out of there. Get out of there. Get under there. Come on, chicken. All right, got those chickens taken care of. I got some chickens in cages that are in jail because they've been eating eggs, and I got one in little chicken because he is not growing right in the meat for the meat birds. Heather, is my sound okay? All right, so the cats are already up there. A couple of them. I can't turn my camera. There we go. I'm trying to figure out the camera here. How to turn things and how to. There we go. There's cats, some of them. I put their feet up here so that they can easier to chase off chickens this way. All right, there's the cats, all 4 of them. The kittens, I saw the kittens under the porch. Maybe we can go see them here in a little bit. We better go get Saddle and Maddie taken care of. Next. Awesome. Thanks, Heather. Get these chickens taken care of that are in cages. Ones that are in chicken jail. chickens and the ducks get so tweet. Hello, hello. Hey, Mr. Al, I'm doing chores. I need to get my watch time up. I shot a video yesterday and no sound, so I'm going to have to voice over on it. I didn't realize my cord had gone bad between my camera and my mic. So I got my cell phone out today and I'm doing a live to try to make up because I'm behind on my videos for the week. So I just thought I'd take everybody along for chores. It was actually Gary's idea this morning. He's like, hey, why don't you shoot this since I've got to be gone? You need some eggs, Willis? Well, yeah, they're molting and it's cold, so the chickens aren't laying very well. I got 2 eggs this morning. That's not good. That's pretty slim pickings. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm running late this morning, Mr. Al. Normally we're done. We try to be done between 7:30 and 8, but I'm doing by myself, and I had my house chores to do first too. So it kind of, yeah, some of my house chores like cooking breakfast and getting dressed. I could have done it in my pajamas, but it wouldn't have been usually that's what I do, but I didn't want to film with you guys or go live with you guys. So, Lala, is this Rick? It's Frosty. Is it Frosty there, Mr. Al? We're not Frosty. We have a little bit of wind. It is cold. I did harvest all the garden yesterday. That was the video I shot without sound. So the part that I shot that my mic was not plugged in had sound. So I'm just going to voice over the other footage, but that takes time, as you all know. And so that'll have to be for next week. Hopefully I'll get time to get it. All right, Big Rick, thanks. Yeah, the ducks. Can you believe how big the ducks are, y'all? The white ones are absolutely huge. And I don't know ducks very well. It's 28 and it's 31 now. Whoa. Gary and I went shopping yesterday. And I have been wearing for the last 2 winters, I have been wearing Gary's Grandpa Cargill's coveralls for my winter clothes, for chore clothes, and I can't find them. I don't know what happened to them. They are absolutely gone. So we spent the extra money and got me a good pair of pull-on insulated, they're not coveralls, they're the bibs. Yeah, good pair of insulated bibs, overalls. And then I got a big nice coat too. And I'm really going to struggle to wear that coat to do chores, except for that it's super warm. So we'll see. But it's not that cold this morning. It's probably in around 40, I would think. So because I got on a sweater and a sweatshirt. I do have on long johns and my blue jeans. And then I've got chore boots. So, man, this winter has been my winter to have new. You're going to get hearing aids? Awesome, Mr. Al. That's great. Is Miss Trish going to be able, you and Adam probably can go to do that. Miss Trish probably is at work. Well, good morning, everybody. I've got the lambs. I fed the lambs their bottles already. Good morning, Miss Lynette. And I'm getting ready to go feed. Go feed Freedom. Put her feet out, and then I'll move her out. But yeah, I just wanted to show everybody. I got up here to get Freedom's feed gathered, and the barnyard animals, what I call the barnyard animals, the chickens and the ducks and the dogs and the cats, all were begging. So I thought I'd get them took care of. Hi, Mr. Tim. Hey, I got your pictures and stuff, Tim, on that email. Somehow I missed it, but when I was going through and cleaning out my inbox yesterday, I found them. So look for me. I will be finding you on Facebook, Mr. Tim. All right, I got Freedom's feed where I hid it under the bucket so the chickens wouldn't eat it all. Let's go put feed out for Freedom. And then we're going to feed alfalfa hay to the these cattle. And I run out of alfalfa hay, so that'll have to be on my list to go to the farm today and get alfalfa hay. But I can't take the camera down there because there's no internet down there. It's kind of down in a dead spot. So let's take the wagon. Wagon's loaded up with feed. Now, Freedom and the beef calves, have a big round bales apiece. Don't look at my trash pile, guys. That is all the leftover tin from building the shed. That was my house pile when we were going to build a house. Gary was collecting stuff for my house, and when we bought the trailer house and ended up building a shed and partially the store with what was going to be our house. So, because, it's so much easier and more frugal to buy a cheap trailer house and have it moved than to build a house and keep renting a house. So that's what we did. We could buy that trailer house. We bought that trailer house and paid cash for it for what you can buy a camper for. And then we bought it from friends, and it wasn't very far away, so it was easy to get moved here. And yeah, it's very cheap housing that way. I think a lot of people overlook used mobile homes, and I mean, that's kind of like the ultimate repurpose or reuse kind of thing. All right, making sure I haven't missed anybody. If I missed you, good morning. There's Freedom's bale of hay. I'm going to take this wagon and her alfalfa out there and her feed. So this is my big garden, my 10,000 square foot garden. It's 100 by 100 square. And since we got sprayed, all I have left in it is grass. So Freedom is in here to kind of eat out the grass and to put fertilizer down. You've had your share of mobile home living. This is our second trailer house on a homestead. Our first homestead, we had a trailer house. And let's see, since we've been married, this is our first homestead was on my parents' property. And then we had our farm. And then we homesteaded 2 houses in Wyoming. And then we've homesteaded, so that's 4. This is our 6th homestead, and we're back to a trailer house. But never say never. I said with our first trailer house, I would never live in a trailer house again because it was so cold and we couldn't keep it warm and we had so much difficulty. It was a much older trailer house. It was in like a 72 Casa Loma, and this was in the 90s. Our trailer house here is a 1995. But it's northern built, and the quality of building has changed so much from the 70s to the 90s in 23 years between the 2 trailer houses being built, that this house is holding together much better than the Casa Loma did, even though the Casa Loma was much bigger than this one. This one is like a 14 by 70 is their measurements that they sell them by. That includes the tongue. And the Casa Loma was a 16 by 80. And so you wouldn't think that 2 feet wider and 10 feet longer would make a difference, but it sure does. But this little house is a lot tighter than the Casa Loma. It's better built than the Casa Loma. And so we're really enjoying this trail house. Yes, they have. I don't know Big Rick on the framing of it, but it is way better. Hi, Lori. Thanks for listening. All right, y'all. I'm going to get this feed out because I'll talk all day. All right, so I purposely put Freedom's feed and hay, the hay and feed. I put the hay down, and then I put the feed on top of the hay, and I purposely put it on a pile of grass for 2 reasons. What hay she doesn't eat will help mulch that grass down, and she also will eat some of the grass too. So next, we're going to try to get pigs in here. If we can get the pigs trained to hot wire again, and after Freedom comes out of here, we're working on getting her out into the pasture with the meat calves. And after she comes out of here and she gets into the pasture, then we're going to try to transition the pigs if we can get time, guys. We have big plans. So usually we have 2 obstacles on our plans: time and money. But this one would just be time. This one would not have any money consumption in it. It would just be time consuming. So with Gary working full time and pastoring a church, and I'm homesteading, now fall brings in a good time. Like right now, I'm already almost done canning. I have some stuff on the table that I've got to get done, and I've got some pumpkins to can. So I've got maybe 3 or 4 days left of canning that I can do over this week and next week. And I'm just trying to I actually do just a little bit of canning every day to try to get it all knocked out, because I don't get a day that I can just can. So getting done what I can get done, and when I can get it done in my time frame. I worked this week, which should be my last day of work with the farmers market for the year. It'll be spring before I go back to the farmers market. Hello, Roy, to work for the farmers market. Now I will be attending the farmers market as a vendor. We have it the first and third, that's where the 3 comes in, the first and third Saturdays of the month inside Water's True Value Hardware in Emporia from 8:30 to 10:30 in the mornings on Saturdays. I will not be able to attend this next one because we're going to butcher chickens, I hope. Last Friday we were supposed to butcher chickens, and it completely fell apart. Weather was not cooperative. The wind was so bad we could not light the burner to heat the water to scald them. So we didn't want to risk fire, even though we'd gotten rain. There's still, as you can tell, the grass is so dry. We did not want to risk fire, and so we just opted to put it off. So when we put it in jars, you know, that is an amazing question, Lynette. I don't know, maybe because they used to put them in tin cans, and some stuff is still in tin cans. Way back in the old days, it wasn't put in tin cans. You know, depending on home stuff was not put in tin cans. Manufactured stuff was put in tin cans, you know, like one through a processor and put it in tin cans like you get your vegetables and stuff in now. That is a good question. I'll have to Google that and research it sometime, Miss Lynette, if I can remember. But anyway, I'm going to get some alfalfa out to the beef calves. I am going to have to go to the farm after a while and get more for them, but they're not going to go hungry. Our pasture grass that our neighbor planted for us is coming up and doing good, and we'll see if we can get a spot of that. It's got some turnips in it, which they love turnips, but for some reason, maybe it's because there's so many, they're not eating them real well. But we have what's called a winter grazing mix, and our neighbor, Mr. Terry, came and drilled that for us. And so I'm going to turn the camera around. Sorry, it's so bumpy. And maybe you can see that the little spots of green out there is the winter grazing mix coming up, because our pasture is mainly summer grazing. So they come in and drill in a winter mix. And some of you may know, and some of you may not, this was a bean field. They'd grown soybeans and wheat here for years and years and years. And we have, hi Tina, we have reclaimed that. We're working on reclaiming this ground. So there are some native grasses in here. We have big blue and little blue stem. And there's some gamma grass here, but it's very sparse and far between. So look at them all up here. Now, they'll let me touch them maybe, when I have the hay. Frosty, of course, He's our tame one, the white-faced little calf over here. And let's see if you can get a better look at him. Frosty, he'll let me pet him any time of day. He just loves to be petted. Except for today when I got the camera and he'll make a liar out of me. So I'll name them off. We had the little one here on the far left is Howdy. Look how much she's grown from my little bottle calf. Then we have Julene. And then we have Red. And we have, oh, I got them wrong. Julene's over here. We have Stewart's black calf. I'm not sure if that's Bobby or Blackie. And then Red. And then the white-faced calf, of course, is Frosty. Then we have Julene with her tag. And then over here, acting like she is the queen of all and ignoring us. Oh, now she's going to go for a feed, is Gertrude. Gertrude had her birthday last month, y'all. She's a year old. These other calves were all born during the polar vortex. And so you can really tell a difference between my bottle calves and the calves that were actually got to be raised out on their mamas. So Howdy and Frosty are my bottle calves from the polar vortex, and they lost their mamas. And then Red and Blackie and Bobby are from Stewart Farms. They were purchased calves when they were weaned off their moms. And then of course Gertrude is my bottle calf from last fall. And Julene is the calf we bought. We bought Julene here. She's got the yellow tag in her ear. And we need to move on pasture, but it's been so wet here, and with Gary's work schedule, it's just now drying up enough that we can get the trailer and truck and trailer down to get them out of here, but we just haven't had the time. And we really need to go check fence and make sure fence is good before we go put them over on the other pasture. And then that will leave Freedom here by herself. This pasture will have time to get some growth on it. And in a month, we can bring them back and finish them out here. But yeah, lots of work on the homestead. And I'm a chatty Cathy today. I forgot something and I got to go back and do it. I got to grab some hay off of Freedom's bale for the lambs and for Freeman's while Freedom's in the pasture so that they can have hay. So I'm going to run and grab that real quick. One more arm load. All right, normally I would be going to be in the 60s there, Mr. Al. More wood split, yep. Oh, your wood is done, Roy? You split yours in spring? Normally, I would be carrying a bucket of water as well, but I got the camera to carry. I may have Hannah help me with water here in a little bit when she gets around. My big, I keep dropping hay everywhere. My wagon full of hay. This wagon Gary bought me a couple years ago for Christmas, maybe 3 years ago. It has been the best for chores. I'm going to have to change the legs on my camera because I keep bumping them. Oops, it's cloudy. Let's see if that works better. Sorry for all the jostling. I had the legs too long on my tripod, so they were getting hung up on the uneven ground. Because when the legs are fully extended, the tripod's not much shorter than me. Share a wood splitter. Good. That's so nice about community. So like the hay that come from Stewart Farms. You all come up for the hay ride. Yeah, we're going to have to take turns in the wagon. But so Stewart Farms, we partner with them a lot. They have took us in and are our family. And so we trade milk and eggs and labor. And we do invest a little bit in the farm as well. And for hay. And so, yeah. And the opportunity to ranch whenever we don't have the resources to ranch in the manner we would like to. But with Stewart Farms' help, with the Stewart family's help, we are able to fulfill that dream and partner with them. And that's amazing. So it's great whenever you can partner with your neighbors. Chicken plucker. I always find it funny when the chickens are cleaning out around the chicken plucker. We have not butchered processed chickens in a long time. So they're just cleaning up all the debris and stuff that's blown in around it. We usually have that kind of sheltered a bit, but it got left outside last time. But it'll be all right. All right, next is Freedom. Well, yeah, next is Freedom. Let's get Freedom put out. This might get a little rough, guys. Sometimes she gets a little antsy in the mornings. She's usually way well behaved. But some mornings, she's a little froggy. So I got to show you, we have been putting them, we had their little pen here on the Three Sisters garden, and their hay and their manure will decompose and add to that. You bought a Lala wagon. You bought Lala wagon for hauling hay and cement mixer for mix and feed last year for Christmas. Hemlock tea. Well, Mr. Rick, you do have pigs now, so it'd be a whole lot easier to hide the body. Just saying. Anyway. That was probably a little too much there. But Freeman over here, he's growing like a weed. Let's see, did I get him? Yeah, he's still there. Okay. Yeah, he is growing like an absolute weed. And Freedom is still slow to put on her weight, guys. So hopefully when we wean Freeman, which is coming up, she'll be able to recoup some weight. We're kind of waiting, hoping she gains weight before we breed her. Be January or February before we have her AI'd. Gary's at work, Mr. Roy, and I'm doing chores by myself. Chores should already be done, but I waited. Gary had the idea this morning, since I was going to have to do them by myself this morning. We usually do them together, that I do a live to try to get my hours up. Sorry, truck's coming on the highway. to try to get my hours up, and I've not been able to shoot video this week. It's just been a crazy busy week. So Gary's at work. He got to stop at the beginning. When you hit the replay, you'll see him. He stopped in when they loaded bulls out this morning, separated bulls, and loaded up cows, excuse me, to go to sale. And then they did that early this morning. And then he was stopped by here on his way to a carpenter job and got to say hi on the live. But that was at the very beginning of the live. But he had the idea of me going live today, and so I had to wait till the daylight was good enough to and the sun was up high enough and enough light. And I picked up a spider, and he was hanging down there. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you. Please excuse Freedom while she goes to the bathroom. But I'm going to go gather her, and we'll be back. Good morning. Back in there. With your butt. Back in there. Huh, she did just what she was supposed to do. Isn't she good? Oh, yeah, the bees. We'll see. Good morning, homesteading pastor. So Freedom and I are going to head out this way. We'll see if she tries to run me into anything. She's going to try to stop at her milking stanchion, and she's such a good girl. This morning, she acted like a dream. She let me put her halter on her and was just fine. Since she was a show calf, and the little girl that showed her was in 4-H and showed her as a calf and then as a cow or milking heifer, because when they have their first calf, they're still a heifer, and they become a cow officially when they have their second calf. So she is officially a cow. But we'll check on the bees here in just a second, Roy. We're going to be right by them. So Gary did kill a big zipper spider. He usually doesn't kill them, the garden spiders. I'm going to set the camera down. Good girl. Good girl. But anyway, Mr. Roy, Gary did have to kill a big zipper spider. It had put a web right in front of the bees' entrance, and he was eating, or she was eating the bees. So here's the bees. Gary does need to get in there, and clean out in front of their hive. And he's going to have to winterize it. So we're going to get some cold weather soon. Looks like his feeder is empty. He did put a cake of feed in there, like you said, or somewhere. He had a feeder box. It must have fell off. I will tell you, I'm highly allergic, so I don't mess with the bees. And we do have them fenced off in case somebody gets loose. Like one of the cows or something get loose, they cannot knock over the hive. But anyway, because like, especially the hogs, if one of them was to get loose and knock that hive over, it would be horrible. It'd be like a bear getting in it. All right, so let's finish up our feeding chores. Well, no, we got a whole lot to do. We got to get Freeman fed. We got to finish lambs and then start on the chickens and the chicken tractors and all the pigs. I'm not even halfway done yet, y'all. And we're almost 47. Yeah, we're 47 minutes into it. I'm going to put the halter up so I don't lose it. I'm real bad about laying it down. And then there's the hunt for the halter. All our chore buckets over there by the feed barrels. And the lambs still want their feed. So we'll get alfalfa for Freeman. For him, since we took his mama away. Okay, there's alfalfa for him. We'll get some feed for him and the lambs. Let's grab a bucket. Okay, the lambs and Freeman get the same feed as Freedom. It is a 50-pound bag of rolled oats, crimped rolled oats, and it is a 50-pound bag of 20% beef pellets. Well, it's pretty cool this morning. I haven't checked the temp. I need to. I think it's in the 40s. Let me see if I can get a temp. I think the only way I can temp is to go out of the live, and I'm afraid to do that since I'm on my cell phone. It is cool. It's cool enough that I'm comfortable in my thermals. So I got thermal pants on and then blue jeans. I've got on a sweater and a sweatshirt and my beanie and my gloves. And so it's probably around 40. Upper 30s to 40. But yeah, so what's your temp? Mr. Al said they got a pretty good frost this morning in Missouri, south central Missouri. And here we are in southeast Kansas, but we are in the northeast corner of southeast Kansas. Spot thinks she's starving to death because I haven't fed her yet. But look at her. Isn't she fat and pretty? She is exactly what we want for breeding stock. She's a Hereford Duroc Spot Cross. Excuse me, not Duroc, Hereford Spot Cross. And she is loving that wheat that's sprouting down there. And I'm sorry, my nose is running from the cold and the hay. All right, I'm gonna run the hay off of on the post at the milking station. So some of you may not have seen, this is our storage shed back here, and Gary stores all kinds of stuff there. We store all our stuff that we shouldn't be keeping, but we have nowhere else to put it. She's a beauty. Thank you. I think she's beautiful. And then my milking stanchion. There's a little roof that Gary's put up, and it's held up by lean-to roof on the side of the shed. And That's where we milk. It's nice. It's better than last winter when we were milking under a tarp or in the open. So let's get Freeman taken care of, and then we'll go get the lambs, and then we'll start on the pigs and the chickens that are in the tractors. Oh, I lost his alfalfa. Get the camera turned around so you guys can see a bit. Sorry about all the shakiness. I probably gave him a little much. I'll have to give the lambs some more later, or just steal some back from him. Because he gets enough milk when he's with Freedom. He gets enough milk from Freedom that he really doesn't need that much feed. We will leave most of the hay with him, though, and we'll pick the roughest place, because we've got to move this pen again this weekend. We try to move it every few days. All right, and his water looks good. Water pan looks good. It's got a little hay in it, but he really likes the alfalfa, and he will eat the alfalfa first. I had to go back for it. It fell off over here by the tree. All right, let's see. I got to do this. Figure out how I did it a minute ago. All right, we've got lambs, and then we'll be done with the ruminants. There is the store. It's not quite done yet. Another one of those. Good morning, Miss Colleen. How are you? And Miss Miranda doing? Let's get some lambs. There we go. They've got hay. I give them extra hay. They'll eat what they want. And the rest will create a, what Joe Salatin calls a carbonaceous diaper. Now alternate. One day I'll put it out here if it's raining. Or if I've put it out here too many days in a row, I will put it into their house. Yeah, they are growing. They're growing crazy. So they are a month old, just a little over a month old. And around Thanksgiving, we'll start weaning them. But they're growing like crazy. We've upped their feed. They're up to 2 bottles a day, but they get 16 ounces each bottle. And then they get all the hay and they get that they want, and they have feed. I feed them about a gallon coffee can a day too. They waste quite a bit of it though. All right, let's take our wagon back over and leave it by the feed. And we'll get chicken stuff ready. Tell you the chickens and watering is the most time consuming. Since we don't have a constant water supply and we bucket most of our water, carry it in 5-gallon buckets. It gets a little crazy. Gary did, I'll show you on the feeder pigs, he did set up the self feeder. So all I have to do is check the level of the self feeder and check their water, which they're going to need water, I know. So I may haul water in the wagon buckets. It gets sloshed out, but it'll be easier to handle the camera that way. I'm going to get feed for Spot, and then we'll get feed for the meat chickens. So Spot is on a maintenance diet, so she doesn't get a whole lot of feed. You love watching other people work. Good. Glad y'all are doing good this morning, Miss Colleen. Put the other feed in a bucket for Mama and the girls. And that's the end of that bag. I'll set it over here and we'll pick up bags in a little bit and take them to the trash. All right, so we got feed for Spot. Feed for little Mama and the girls. Let's go get Spot fed and we'll check on the boys. We have had to buy hog feed. We're almost out of the wheat, and that's okay. Oops. All right. Now let's go check on the boys. I should have done that when I was up here taking care of Freeman, but I didn't think about it. We have the boys up here close to the highway. People love driving by, and they'll talk to us about them at town. And when we're in town and see them, they'll be like, "Those pigs are growing." But here, the self feeder. Yep, they need water. They got mud. I'll have to get a mud in their water. Let's see, this is a self feeder for them. Holds quite a bit of feed. Got to check, see how much feed is in it. Woo. I'm going to need to haul feed for them. And they're also eating pumpkins. Let's see if you can see the pumpkins. So I'll have to go to the feed store and get some feed. And bring it down here in my truck and fill that feeder up. It takes, I think it's about 100 pounds. So they also need water. We'll get that carried to them. So my choices is buckets or stringing out water hose. And I'll guarantee you, I would rather carry buckets than string out water hose. We have talked about getting a tank that has a little pump on it, electric pump on it, that we can put on the back of the four-wheeler. And it would help. It would help a lot. I could drop my sump pump into the rainwater catchment tank and fill that little tank, but I'm not sure it's really going to save us any time. All right, let's move on. We'll get feed for chickens and then go feed chickens and little Mama. Okay, so we feed our chickens. We feed our chickens. Yeah, what do we feed our chickens? I went blank. We feed our chickens soaked wheat, and we add a mentrate with them. This has the vitamins and minerals that they need and a little bit of protein to help them. But they're getting plenty of protein with the soaked wheat because the wheat germinate, when it germinates, there's a lot of protein in that. Let's see, Miss Colleen. Maybe I missed, let me see what I've got here. I'm working him out of a job. For you, it's your hips. Oh, back hurts all the time. My back hurt just sitting here. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I do a lot of stretches in the morning beforehand so that I don't pull something because I am in my upper 40s, guys. I've officially passed into my upper 40s, well, mid 40s, 40. Well, yeah, I'm in my upper 40s. And oh, thank you, Colleen. Yes, the Father, he deserves all the glory. He does. So I do some stretches in the mornings, and that helps. I have a lot of problems with my shoulders and my sciatica. So I do a whole lot of stretches, and my neck. My neck's probably the most problematic, and the carrying, especially the water buckets. But if I do the stretches, then I do not hurt near as bad. Just a heads up for those of you that can do some stretches. And there's a lot of stretches you can do from your chair. Research that for your problem areas. There's certain stretches that you can do for different areas. And this all comes from our wonderful chiropractor, Dr. Jenny, Gary's cousin that grew up with him, and she's super sweet. Their relationship's more like sister brother. And guys, my battery's going to die, so I've been live for way too long. You miss being able to do a lot of stuff. More surgeries. I'm so sorry, Mr. Roy. Well, guys, I've been on here an hour, and my battery's going to die, and my phone was fully charged. So that's how that goes when you try to do a live and carry around a cell phone. But I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'll finish up with the chickens and the pigs, and then I'm going to haul water. And that's kind of not a very glorious job, but it's got to be done, right? Thank you guys so much for coming in and spending time with me out of your day. I so appreciate y'all so much. And remember, yeah, it's my phone, and it's older, and I don't know. I'm gotten to be a cheapskate, and I make my phones last as long as I can. They've got to be done before I get a new one. And so now it's obsolete, so you can't get a battery booster for it. Thank you, Roy. Thank you, Lori. Have a good day, y'all. Love you all so much. Thank you for joining our family and following us along on our journey and supporting us. Your love and prayers mean so much to us. We just are super blessed by the family we have found through YouTube. We love y'all so much. Remember that God made you special, and he loves you very much. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Love y'all.